We're hoping everyone is challenged, and I can almost guarantee you everyone will learn a little something they didn't know.
Or how do you have a good dialogue with other people who disagree with you? Someone tonight, I was describing this a bit, and she said, "Oh, you mean we're going to have an adult conversation?"
In different reports, you'll see these broken out differently, but about 34% of the money goes to teachers, about 11% goes to other, either teacher aides or other activities that are happening in direct instruction in the classroom. Then you've got a huge chunk of money for all of these activities, and then you've got to pay for the land in the buildings, all of the equipment, and since many places, many schools borrow money through bonds or other things, they've got to pay interest on the financing of lands and buildings and equipment and major purchases. So this is where the K-12 money goes.
Is the money that Arizona taxpayers spend on education leading to effective student learning, in your view? And where is the biggest opportunity for improvement?
If you look at the big buckets that budgets have, education is a human capital business. The dollars go to human capital. It goes to all of the employees between salaries, benefits, wages, etc. The vast majority of maintenance and operation dollars, which are the dollars that pay for folks and pay for the daily operations, is going exactly to those teachers in the classrooms, the individuals that are supporting the teachers in the classrooms. And that's one of the mantras that I know I've heard in the districts I've worked for, and I think is a very common mantra, is if you're not the teacher in the classroom, what are you doing to support that teacher in the classroom? And that, what is your position there for? And why do you have that position other than to support what is happening directly in the classroom between the teacher and the student?
We look at bringing those people in who often join our organization because they're young and vibrant and idealistic sometimes, and they just want to get in there and do a lot of good, because as you know, teaching is very much a vocation. It's very much a calling to something higher. Keeping them for the long haul, keeping them for decades, is impossible at an average pay of $36,000 a year.
We know that a recent survey by the Arizona School Personnel Administrators Association of 130 district and charter schools showed that 47% of teaching positions remain vacant or filled by individuals that don't meet standard teaching requirements. So in your estimation, what is the biggest issue facing teacher recruitment and retention? And how do we...
That the culture of the school and the culture of the district is critical for retaining those teachers. We need to make sure that those teachers have the support systems in place, the professional development they need. We need to reduce the amount of paperwork and administrative work that is required by our teachers so that they can focus on the actual instruction of the students in the classroom.
Also, I see an adequately funded system, one where our staff, particularly our teachers, don't have to seriously consider or actually change careers to support themselves and their families. And I think the other panelists have touched on that very eloquently. And lastly, I believe an adequately funded system is one where it provides a reasonable level of funding to appropriately maintain its investment in its infrastructure, facilities, and equipment. I think, Helen, you mentioned that too, is that with the decline in capital funding that we have experienced, and the chart showed certainly the state has been in a very bad situation over the years with the recession, is that the capital funding has become probably one of the biggest victims.
An adequately funded system is one in which every Arizona school has the resources to educate the students they're serving. And so when we look at the funding system right now, we're not funding based on the needs of our students. We last overhauled school finance in 1980 when we had one fax machine in all of state government. We haven't modernized it or updated it or overhauled it since then.
Based on what I would argue are arbitrary buckets that are created by bureaucrats and not by the people that are actually on the ground having to make decisions about what's best for the students that are in their care. So
effectiveness and efficiency. For 3 words for effectiveness: fund what works. It means taking the best practices from our high-achieving schools and applying them elsewhere. And we can't stand by and tell a generation of students and their parents that they've got to be patient and accept a failing school.
So if you haven't participated in table talk before, what we do for the next 15 minutes, what I want you to think about at your own individual tables is A, what rubbed you the wrong way? B, what rubbed you the right way? What did you learn tonight to share at your table?
Been hearing a discussion about voter attitudes with respect to funding education in Arizona, and I'm wondering if you have perspectives you'd like to share.
Interesting. So we've done pretty consistent polling over the last 6 years, and this was the first year that voters, likely voters, so they've voted in primaries and generals, regardless of political affiliation, ranked education as a top priority facing Arizona's future. And when you ask them deeper what they mean by that, what are the top issues within education, they actually say number one is education funding. And then number two is something between teacher pay and or literacy. So voters are actually pretty keyed in to education as an issue, to money as an issue. The difference starts to fall out between political party and what they think the issue is. And so for Democrats, they tend to believe that we just need more funding, and the Republicans tend to believe that the funding needs to be spent more efficiently.
The question to you is, are we investing? Are we spending? Because I think the attitude in the state of Arizona is that this is an expense. It really is an investment. It's an investment today, it is economically an investment tomorrow, and it is far into the future.